Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Smith of the Smith and the Black channel here, Ticker Talker, with the Strat Time Report on a Friday. But let's take a look at what's going on. Uh, a lot of back and forth here as we can expect. Now, we had started off the month all right, starting to move up. If you go to SPY here on the weekly, had a nice week move up there last week, and now Doji doing nothing. All right, so that we can expect back and forth. When you see that on the Friday, you know that this is just back and forth doing nothing. All right, so we can expect that because of the lower middle inside month. So we're kind of fortunate that we got the movement that we did, because on an inside month we can expect going back and forth, and that's what we got going on here. So yesterday we get this, right? We get the gap down, right? And then as we rallied back yesterday, we talked about going after anything taking out the previous day's highs. Why? Because they got what they wanted, right? Anybody short got what they wanted, the market gap down. But when it rallies back, anybody taking out yesterday's highs, screwed. So today, you get this reversal back here. This is a 2 down because it took out these lows, and now there's a 2 back up, right back into the middle of this range. Boo, as you can see, not only is it a doji on the week, doji on the day doing nothing, right? So we can expect this to go back and forth. So right now, we go inside on the 60-minute, right? So either side of this is going to get my attention, all right? We also have that in the NASDAQ QQQ here, inside, and you'll notice here on the weekly, once again, doji doing nothing right here, right? Still inside month, handling the cues. Once again, just like the SPY here was down and now goes back up. So when we start to fail back down in here, one of the things we want to go after is anybody taking out yesterday's lows, all right? Because they got what they wanted. They got the market to rally back, but anybody taking out yesterday's lows, those guys are going to get stopped out and have problems. So if we take a look at Peloton, here, I get this question a lot. And Peloton, you can see up here in the middle, or up in the left, outside day, and then pokes up and comes back through. So potential outside day, 3-3, if we can get this thing to go. Now you got an inside 60 here to keep an eye on. Hopefully we get the measured move and come wipe all this stuff out. But I get this question all the time, is like, when things close, does that matter on the next day? Does. So you can see this was inside on the 60 here, right? And then the opening rallies up, but then comes back down for the 2-2 reversal. The 1-2-2, that's a rev strat, reversing this equilibrium. Boom, she fell apart, and it's Friday. Those options just exploded. So right now, keeping an eye on these 60s to see if they want to bring them in. Because the other thing we can do is it's got some distance on this, but the SPY and the Qs, once you are above yesterday's highs, now if we can come back through, then you can have an outside day to the downside, and that would make for a very interesting, fun afternoon. So we'll be looking for stocks that do that, because you can see that happening like KLAC here. They try to poke up now. Comes back and goes all the way outside, you see? So here it was, poke them up, range expansion, because we know broadening formations exist because outside bars exist. So KLAC, there's your broadening formation. If we go to the upside so far, things are changing here, and they're going to change on these 60s, I'll tell you that much. AAXN above yesterday's highs here, and we've been watching this because of this inside month here, right? Inside month to the upside to go, and it's hit its magnitude. We're looking for this to take all these guys out, which it did, so we'll see if that continues. Keeping an eye on these 60s, one eye on these 60s. You got crisp, and here's what you're looking for. The non-gapper, right? So on the monthly, you can see this here. Takes out the highs, takes out the lows, boom, here's your reversal. So these two become an outside bar of that, right? Above this, 94.50. Right, and so this continuation did it, and on the daily, here's how it goes up, backs off, then here's your 2-2 reversal that did not gap, right? That means you can get it right as soon as it takes this here, over 101.65, right? Not bad, trading 109.77. ZM, still going, it's still going, and there's your inside week to the upside to go into new highs. We're looking for a little gap and go, so a little quick on that. See if there's anything better on that. To get in on that, here's one way in. Takes out the high, takes out the lows. There's your 222 right there above 558.74, right? With your magnitude to take that out, and hopefully a little bit more. If we go to ADS, here you can see taking out last month's highs down the lower middle, coming through this range. It just needs to stay up there and still going. And so this was an inside day to the upside. A little quick here too, but we'll see if we can get something off those 30s. If we go to ANAB, and ANAB here in the lower middle, you're going to see that took out previous month's lows and then boom, back through previous range. 2-2 reversal here above 1755. Trading 25.33. It just hit its magnitude, but once again, if we're watching this because of that, you can see this takes out the previous high here on the daily in the upper left. Took out the previous low, that's a 2 down, and then boom, opens, doesn't gap, and goes above 2278 to become an outside bar of all that. Now trading 25.33, not bad percentage gains right there. Still keep an eye on these broader averages. Q's getting closer to that downside. If we go to NEE in the Utes, in NEE, once again, you can see this bright green on the month and making a higher high. The weekly just kind of sitting there, but that's okay because if you look at this here, right, you're going to see how it stopped these guys out here, then opened, didn't gap, it comes back through previous range to stop out these guys, and these guys, right? So this two are now an outside bar of that, and your hopes you can go all the way up there and take that out. If we go to Dada, I want my Dada. Dada and Dada. So we've been watching this one because of this. The inside month, the poke down, boom, as soon as you come through here, stop them all out, which it has done. So we'll see if there's any continuation on that because these two become an outside bar of that, you see. All right, if we go to Baba, and Baba stalls out a little bit. Let's stay on some 60s here just because they're slowing down a mite. But Baba, once again, that Momo Hammer month here, right? We've seen a lot of these work really well and setting it up on the weekly as well. If you go to the daily, you're going to see this. Stop them out yesterday, come back. Problem was it gapped up in here, so we're looking for this thing to try and take these out to be the outside bar. These two would be an outside bar of all that if we can get it up there. If we go to GTLS, GTLS had a nice day yesterday or 2 days ago, and still trying to continue on that. So if we look at the monthly, once again, we look take out the highs, take out the lows, boom. Now these are an outside month of all that. Good thing is it's been higher. It's still going. So it's a little creepy crawly in here, but you can see right here in the lower left, you did get your inside 60 to the upside. We'll see if that thing continues. If we go to Snap-on, SNA, and SNA, the outside, you got your outside day yesterday. And so the question is, can we take these guys out because you're still expanding the range like so. You're taking out last month's highs. That's good. All right, now these Q's getting closer to taking the inside 60 down with the SPY. So we're going to keep one eye on this thing here. See if they take this out, and then things maybe get a little bloodier. If you go to URI, once again, here's that 2-2 reversal on the daily, right? Like so, right? And the hopes is trying to take out a bunch more of this stuff. We'll see how that sets up. Go to Star Surgical, STAA. And STAA, once again, you can see that did gap. I just want to keep showing you these patterns that we look for, right? Once it pokes down and comes back through, now this is an outside bar of that. And the reason you'd be watching this is here on the monthly. The inside month to the upside, that's a reversal. The down, the inside, and back up, and that's good for the rest of the month. So we'll see if that can, next week, maybe take out some more of those highs and go into the highs off of that. If we go to Autodesk, and Autodesk, here, you can see this outside-inside month in the lower middle, right? And so the good thing about the outside month is that means we got a broadening formation, and there it is, up in the weekly. And so our magnitude is trying to take this out, 261.94. So you get about like maybe $3 more on that. You can see that one outside day yesterday, and now into a continuation. And like a lot of things, they're stuck on these 60s, so we'll see what comes of that. If we go to UTHR, and UTHR, watching this, and see this weekly up here in the upper middle coming back to previous range. That's a good thing, right? Anybody's short there, they're going to be stopped on where they got in or a bunch of different types of pivots, right? And so the good thing is you have your reversal on the monthly here in the lower middle. That was a 2 down. Boop. Good for the rest of the month above 109.48. So we'll keep an eye on that going forward. We got Cat Tractor in the Dow. How's that doing? Cat Tractor's going up and just kind of sitting there like a lot of things on these 60s, but anything that's taking out previous highs like so is good. We'll see if that sets up. You can watch maybe a little John Deere Also did the compound 3, this daily outside here. Right now, like a lot of things, just sitting here waiting on these 60s. Bloodbath. And Bloodbath still going. And BBBY, and one of the things we look for too, so you hear it's still tuning its way up, right? Still working on it. And when you take the monthly out, you'll see how much higher this thing's actually been, all right? If they're really coming back, this thing's coming out of the basement, so that's a good thing. If we go to BGFV, here's another one that used to be a lot higher, right? And so this thing here, shrink this down for you. Here, I believe this was a slight lower low. By 1 cent, it ticked down on here. So this is a 2 up, 2 down. Boom. When it ticks this out, we're going to be an outside month of all that. Still going as of right now. We'll see if that sets up. Here was a nice 60 for you right there. If we go to FSLR. There's that 2-2 day and still have some magnitude up to here, right? Because it's still inside month to the upside as of right now. That's a good. Kirk. And Kirk, been watching this, the inside month to the upside, still going to see if we can take all this kind of stuff out here. We'll see if that sets up again. This is nice on the 60. You're going to see how this set up. Outside bar then pokes down. That gives you the magnitude that we're going to take that out because these become an outside bar of all that, you see. Okay, right now we're starting to lose them. Here we go, QQQ. Taking that inside 60 to the downside. So you got NKLA. Here, anybody taking out yesterday's lows? All sorts of problems here, and you can see this here. Just poked up a little bit on the weekly. That's our Rev Strat week right here. Inside, higher high, then boom, back through here, below 2277, and hopefully we can take all of this out. All right. If we go to the DraftKings, taking out yesterday's lows, right? Potentially outside month here in the middle, right? In the lower middle. Taking out last week's lows, right? That's something we'd want to look for a setup on. And if you go to a 30, you'll see something like this. There, you got them good right here, trying to stop them out. And then, boom, there was your 2-2 reversal on the 30 to start the day. Now you might get Rev Strat 30 here, the top of the hour, because it was inside pokes up. Boom, taking out the lows of this is something I'm going to want to know at the top of the hour. If we go to JB Hunt Trucker, and JB Hunt Trucker here, back through previous range. That's good. This is also a kicking pattern. When you have like 80% all green here, ain't nobody shorting this thing. Boom. And if you're long, you could stay long. But now back through the previous range. And if you go to the 15, you're going to see this. Start the day. Inside 15. And boom. See you later. Now we'll see if this thing sets up again on a 30. There's a 30 right now. Maybe you get yourself a 60. We'll see. You watch that with CHRW. Here, that's inside on the 60. We'll see if we get any more out of that, right? If we go to Zilla, and Zilla taking out yesterday's lows, right now inside on the 60 like a lot of things, but that month is now red, and it was a 2-2 reversal on the weekly, right up in here, right? That's something we'd want to know about. Okay, they bend but don't break here on the 60 SPY. All right, and Palo Alto. And Palo Alto here, taking out yesterday's lows on the daily, right? And on the weekly, potential upper middle, potential outside week. And even if it doesn't make it today, we'd be looking for that compound next week and then come back through this range if they want to bring them in and hit them. If we go to CTXS. And CTXS just slightly taking out yesterday's lows, potentially outside weaker, right? That's something I'd want to know about, right? Remember, if I was long yesterday and that market rallied back and now the market starts to fail again, yeah, I'm in all sorts of trouble underwater when it takes that out. PLCE and pandemics. And here, you can see this, inside weak, and then takes that back down, right? And slight higher high yesterday, and then boom, back to the previous range. We'll see if that sets up again. Just a couple more here and running out of time. We go to Marna. Marna gives us the outside day, or I'm just about to. So we'll see how that does. And that's, you always want to be like, when you look at charts, you want to be forward-looking and say, okay, if this works, what will that set up, right? And so we had the inside week, and that goes up, and now it's coming back through to potentially set up the Rev Strat back through this previous range next week. So you always want to be like a playing pool. You don't just hit the ball and you want to leave yourself another shot. So if this works, goes outside day, it sets this up for the pound 'em next week as well. Just one more quick one, lift. Having some problems, and that's an inside month to the downside. That's how we know about this, right? We'll see if that sets up again. All right, that's going to do it for this week. Hope everybody had a great week and has an even better weekend. I'm Rob Smith, the Smith the Black Channel here. Check your talking with the Strat Time Report.